You doubled your income and you don't want to leave. That's all I want. You've reached your comfort zone. In the universe, this is a problem. You can't stop. The galaxy spins, moves away, the atom vibrates, the proton vibrates, the quark vibrates, everything vibrates. The quantum vacuum vibrates all the time, you can never stop. When you try to pull the brakes and everyone else is going forward at 300 kilometers per hour, what will happen? Imagine. In practice, it means fewer customers, less everything. Nobody did anything to you. It's not that they did magic, it doesn't need to be done, you are enough to destroy yourself. You just have to want to step on the brakes and stop your individual, personal growth. Why is there a lecture? And so that you understand what the tool is doing. Because the tool comes in and starts opening all the doors, immediately, because as soon as it put energy in, it increased the field, and end doors open. For example, the person requests subjects from the law course or other subjects, such as when taking a public exam. A week goes by and a person is invited to act in a play that no one knows she is an actress for 10 years. She hasn't acted in 10 years. A week after she put on the frequency, she is invited to do a play and be directed by a very expensive director. Have you ever thought about what that is? It only happened because she put on the resonance and played the CD, because it changed the person's frequency. She would never ask, she had never thought of that request. She had already forgotten about that possibility. And another actress, who starts meeting several directors who introduce her to other people and the doors start to open quickly. So, do you want to open the door? It's guaranteed, all the doors will open. Put on the CD to play and the door opens, but you have to go in. When the door opens, you have to go in. If you don't go in, you've stepped on the brakes. When you step on the brakes, everything stops. When you step on the brakes, you say, what's stopping the universe? I don't want it. When you tell me to, I don't want it back. If you don't want to, cut off the supply. Because, in the universe, it's a radical business, it either is or it isn't. So, that's it. No customers come in, there's no more money, do you want to go against the normal function of the universe? You'll start having problems. Now look at the other side of the coin. Everything is open. So, money, business, opportunities only depend on what you want. You want 1, ask for 1. You want 5, ask for 5. You want 50, ask for 50. If you ask, come. Of course, you'll have to manage the amount of resources you're asking for, organize yourself to sustain what's coming. No anxiety. No doubt, 100% faith. Ask and release. Ask and release. If you ask, you're created. Forget 100% credibility. You don't jump off a building because you know the law of gravity exists. You don't stick your finger in a light socket because you know there are 220 volts there. This is the belief you need to have in quantum mechanics. When you visualize something and forget it exists, you visualize it, it's created, the end. Take care of something else. Don't look at the garage, don't doubt it. If you doubt it, you cancel it. You'll have to do it all over again. It takes 18 seconds to create a reality in the next dimension. 18 seconds thinking about something you want is not enough. Test it. A bill to pay, a problem, another problem, your mind has already run away, it's already gone to several other places. It starts again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, it's already run away, it comes back again. It takes 18 seconds to create the reality of whatever you want on the other side, to come back here. It's 18 seconds straight, creating that reality. Calm, peaceful, relaxed, without anxiety, without fear, without doubt, etc. He thought, created the formula. He created, the end, is created. Release it to the universe, because when you create, a field of about 30 to 40 centimeters from you remains. He creates a car, imagines himself driving a car, X, on Avenida São João, Avenue in downtown Sao Paulo. The image he is creating is 30 to 40 centimeters from his head. If he does not release it, it will not go out to the universe to bring all the resources, and the car into his life. So, if he becomes anxious, what happens? The car remains stopped and is not released to the universe. That is why it does not move forward. It is called the Zeno effect. You look at the atom and stop its atomic decay, and if you keep collapsing the atom's wave, you also stop the atom's atomic decay. If you stay still thinking about the car you want, the car does not come, you have paralyzed the car. So he created it, he let it go. There was a guy on a road in India who thought he was already one with the quantum vacuum, so nothing could touch him. An elephant came trotting down the trail. He said, "I've already unified it, no problem." The elephant came to where he was and bumped into him and threw him into the middle of the bush. He went to cry to the guru. "The elephant ran me over and I'm already unified, what happened?" The guru replied, "Who do you think is in the elephant? Did you see? The all is in the elephant and is in it. So, you better get out of the way, because the all likes to be an elephant, too. It runs over you. Because it can't talk, I won't be an elephant. And when I'm an elephant, on a trail and there's a guy in front of me, I'll pull the brakes and wait for him to move." So, the all restricted itself as an elephant. It can't do that. So, the elephant runs over it. So, you have to think about the following. The negative partner has an infinite capacity to negative. It is not infinite, however, because he does not know what is being explained here. Therefore, he does not yet have the capacity for rapid manifestation. Good thing, because there would be no one alive on earth. He thought, killed. Good thing they do not understand anything and keep revolvers and clubs. And that is why everything written in the New Testament and the Gospels is pure quantum mechanics, but it was impossible to explain it 2,000 years ago. When you take the right, give the left. When you take the left, give the right cheek. Until they get tired of it. Why? You can't send back the same frequency of hate that they sent you, because you lowered your level and went down into the hole with them too. Do you understand? Everything there is pure physics, literally everything is pure quantum mechanics. Evolution follows normal steps, gradually. You improve, clean. So, there is no point in creating a goal that is greater than your capacity at the moment of creation, of manifestation. It is essential to be sure of what you are doing and/or asking for. For example, a person earns 5,000 Brazilian reals per month and decides, "I'm going to the store now to buy a Jaguar car. Because electromagnetism, resonance will bring this to me." It's not like that. You're going to go bankrupt. Do you understand? Because if you understood how quantum mechanics works, you wouldn't do this. Do you understand? The very fact that you want to take this big step means that you don't understand how it works. The Jaguar car comes by itself, without any force. You don't have to think about buying the car, it comes by itself, without doing anything. Now, if you think about going to the store to buy it, with the income you have, 5,000 Brazilian reals, you buy it, go home and ask how I'm going to pay the bill. You get nervous, anxious. Guess what, you're going to go bankrupt. You won't be able to pay. That's why you always guide yourself, create goals that are consistent with your capacity for belief at the moment. Imagine that you have 10,000 Brazilian reals in the bank, put something credible, in 1 year I will have 100,000 Brazilian reals, 100,000 reais, in my account. This is feasible, but don't put 1 million, 5 million, 50 million, because you don't believe in the established goal. Mentally, you will look at the balance. Do you believe when you look at your balance that you have 5 million in your account? You don't believe, so you don't create. You can't create goals that you don't believe in. Now, a great businessman, he can create 256, 512, the leap is bigger. He can create another 10 billion, why? Because his creation capacity is great. So, He says he will have another 10 billion, without worrying at all. He lies down and sleeps. And it doesn't make the slightest difference to him. Plus 10, minus 10, plus 50. Got it? Look, you normally have five meals a day, breakfast, lunch, afternoon snack, dinner and evening snack, and you need X in money. How many clothes? Solved. How many houses do you need? The capacity for assimilation is over, the matter is limited. That's why they create billions, because they are not worried about this, the level is different. So there is a fundamental uncertainty in the universe. You are never sure of anything, and you never will be. It is impossible to have a 100% guarantee, there is no such thing. It is an external force that will tie and glue two people together. We can buy a rope at a hardware store and use it to tie the two people together. It would be easy. Grab the two people, tie them together and they will be together. They will start to struggle, or at least one of them. Let's consider that he wanted the tie, for example, and he will be happy to be stuck to the other person. So, one of them went and bought the service and the other is struggling terribly, but is very well tied. It takes a while for her to free herself, but she does free herself, because one of the people does not want that. So, we enter Schrödinger's wave function collapse. Everything we think, create, we collapse the wave function. There is a wave of possibilities all the time moving through the universe. When we look, put our minds to it, focus on it, the wave collapses and it turns into a wave of probabilities. That's why, when we talk about quantum mechanics, we say that there are infinite possibilities. That's why. This wave of possibilities really exists, but it becomes a probability in our lives when we choose. You can have any car, it's a possibility, but only when you decide and specify exactly the car, make, year, and that it becomes a probability of entering your life. Until you choose, you haven't collapsed the wave. So, the person will continue to struggle and will collapse a liberation from it. Sooner or later, they will free themselves. Why won't his plan work? Because he hasn't changed anything within himself or within her, the two haven't changed, they continue to repel each other, they are tied by force. If he had patience and made all the necessary changes, he would get what he wants in a harmonious, peaceful way, which would work for both of them. But for that to happen, he needs to change. He entered the field of physics. He needs to get rid of the traumas, taboos, prejudices, comfort zone, paradigms. He needs to change a series of elements, so that he becomes so good that she wants to live with him, without any need for ties. She will stay with him through magnetic attraction. He was attracted to that person. It is electromagnetic attraction. For this to happen, we need to change his frequency, otherwise he will not attract. He is on the old, bad frequency. He continues to attract negative, limiting situations. This applies to a relationship, as well as to a car, an apartment, jewelry, literally anything, because everything is under what is a wave. Imagine all the beggars in the world, they have a brain just like ours. In all of them there are 100 billion neurons, trillions of synapses collapse the wave function and they are out there, thrown away, sick, on the street starving, etc. With the same brain that we have. With the same creative capacity. Forget about the school curriculum, and the same creative capacity, because the system is fair. The universe is fair, no one can complain. No one. Do you think that the universe would not protect itself against an accusation like that? Oh, poor me, I didn't have a chance. Come here, look at the project, look at your capacity. What did you do? Drinking booze at the bar. The other person was thinking and you complained, spoke badly, hated, jealous, envious, resentful, etc. So, it is absolutely fair. Everyone has the same creative capacity. If you do this, snap your fingers, you will get out of the situation you are in. Well, you don't know. So, there you are. Come to our side, what do we have to do? We have to make this knowledge reach him. Those who have already acquired knowledge need to make it reach those who do not have it. And level of consciousness. If you grow, and reach a point X where you are aware of what you should do and you do not do it, you accumulate antimatter in yourself, somatize. I do not need to shoot him and only I do not help him. It is the same thing. If I shoot him, he died and I could have helped him but I did not help him, he died. It does not matter by action or by omission. He also did it by omission, do you understand? That is another question. Here, there are 7 empty chairs, in the Santo Andre lecture there are 50. We need to help, as much as possible, these people so that they understand what is being explained. If you do not understand yet, no problem. Keep studying and you will understand. But the day you understand, you won't be able to say, it's his problem, I don't care, I'm going to keep to myself, every man for himself. That doesn't exist. Because the moment you think like that, the wave that creates antimatter has already collapsed. Antimatter is the inverted polarity of the proton, it's the proton with a negative charge and the electron with a positive charge. Normally, they cancel each other out, but they don't cancel everything out. The remnants of this matter in the universe and what was left over from the cancellation of the Big Bang, when it was created, it created matter and antimatter, they collided, they disappeared, and a little bit was left. That little bit is the universe that exists. But every time we think negatively, it creates antimatter and aggregates in us that we are creating, and it keeps aggregating. This aggregate can become a piece in the liver, another piece in the kidney, and it turns into a physical illness, due to somatization and the antimatter that is stuck together. How do you solve a physical problem? You undo the antimatter that exists. He has pain in his elbow, sends a wave, undoes the antimatter that is in his elbow, and it is solved. Since the physical body needs to be the counterpart of the other body, it cleaned here and will clean the other in a short time, sometimes instantaneously. The problem is over. A wave hit the end. How many diseases would remain on the face of the earth? None, there would be no disease at all. No one, ever. An infinite age, practically. Because you change everything. There is the telomere, it is at the end of the DNA, it provides the cell duplication count and gives the person's due time. If you move and rebuild the telomere, you start to stretch and rebuild the cells. Cells are changed all the time in our body. Every X amount of time we have a new kidney, a new liver, a new heart, a new lung. Your entire body is constantly changing, it only maintains its shape due to the morphogenetic field. Therefore, if you change everything, you remain brand new. As they say, it's a joint problem. You put everything together and throw it away, put a new one in its place, and your personality remains, but you're brand new. Humans could easily last for about 20,000 years, changing. Obviously, in today's society, you wouldn't even think about doing this and staying in the same place, right? A relative dies, then another dies, then another, and you're left. After a certain time, the others will, keep an eye out, pay attention. Then, it's caught. What happens to him? Soon, he's kidnapped and taken to a cage in the laboratory. They're going to desiccate him to study him, you can be sure of that. Year after year, he gets better and better, he gets younger. When he gets to this point, the person disappears from one place and reappears in another. Instantly. The person has disappeared, vanished. You are in China, in any village, 10, 20, 30, 50, 100 years pass and the person remains more or less the same. People start to find it strange. They leave and go, for example, to Thailand, and then to Egypt. They arrive and there is no problem. If you stay in the same place, with a difference of about 30 years, it attracts a lot of attention. Anything that is very different is seen as a threat, right? Imagine if you live 500 years, 1,000 years. If you control diseases, you live, right? You don't die, you change everything. If you change everything, how do you die? There is no mechanical failure. There is no biological failure. You just have to change, but you have to know how to change.